Hello, everyone. This is Dee with Metaphysical Moonlighters, and this is your January 2019 astrology forecast. I'm doing something a little bit differently with the videos this year. I will be posting pictures from my various travels. That will be the background to all of my different slides. So I'm starting it off with Sedona. So most of the pictures that you see in this slide, I personally took them myself in Sedona. So let's get started with your forecast. All right, Libra. So for you, your focus will be on home and family. That will be your main focus this month for most Libras. Also, remember, when I'm doing these forecasts, these are general forecasts, okay? In order to know what is going to happen specifically for you, you would have to look in your personal birth chart, okay? But what I'm giving you today, this is a general overview for all Libras, okay? So it could resonate with you, but if it doesn't resonate with you, don't think about it too much, okay? Now, on January 2nd, the sun is going to conjunct Saturn. Okay. So for a lot of people are going to feel like it is time to get back to work. Maybe you've been partying a lot, over the holidays, and the energy of the sun in a conjunction to Saturn is back to work. So remember that. Now, this next slide, this is a picture of the Chapel of the Holy Cross. You can't really see it because my video is blocking most of the building, but this is the Chapel of the Holy Cross in Sedona. It's a church that it's built into the side of the mountain. And the views from this place are really amazing. So if you visit Sedona, make sure you stop at the Chapel of the Holy Cross. Okay, back to the forecast. So we have a new moon in Capricorn, and it's going to be a solar eclipse. This is going to happen on January 5th. Okay. Now, normally new moons are a good time for starting something new, initiating projects, things like that. This new moon, however, is going to be great for reflection. And I say that because of the fact that Saturn and Pluto are going to have a lot of influence on this new moon. So remember that. Now, on January 6th, Uranus is going direct. If you didn't know, Uranus has been retrograde and it is going direct on January 6th. Now, for you, Libra, Uranus in Aries is in your seventh house that deals with partnerships. So you might start seeing a little bit of surprises here and there related to your partnerships once Uranus goes direct. Remember, all of these um, aspects, you can start feeling the energy of the planetary movement before the actual date happens. So don't get too hung up on a particular date because you might start feeling the energy before this date and even after the date, okay? All right. So on January 7th, we have Venus entering Sagittarius. This is a time where you will want to try new things. And for you, Venus will be in Sagittarius in your area of your life that deals with communication, your interaction with your siblings and your close neighbors, even short distance travel. So you might find yourself around this time wanting to travel maybe to the nearby town just because you've never been there, because the energy of Venus in Sagittarius is that you will want to try something new. So keep that in mind. Now, this is a picture of me at a sunset chateau. It was a bed and breakfast I stayed at one year when I was visiting Sedona. And this is the view from outside of my room. It was just totally peaceful and amazing. That was a sunset chateau. And this is the road leading up to the bed and breakfast. I believe the name of the road is Sunset Road or Sunset Drive, something like that. But the view is absolutely amazing. Look at the red rocks. Can you imagine just driving along and you have the red rocks surrounding you? It's totally beautiful. Now, on January 11th, we have Pluto in a conjunction to Saturn. This is going to be a time where you want to experience transformation in your life. Okay. Now, on January 13th, we have Jupiter in a square to Neptune. Okay, so Jupiter for you, Jupiter is in your third house dealing with communications, and Neptune is in your sixth house, which deals with your daily routine. So, this is going to be a time where you have to watch out for any type of denial or unrealistic plans around this time. Okay. Also, Mercury is going to be in a conjunction to Saturn on the same day. This is going to be a great time for any type of mental activity. Anything you have to do that requires a lot of concentration, this is going to be a great day for that. Now, also on January 18th, we have Venus in a trine to Mars. Remember, this is a general reading, a general overview. So, in order to see how these planetary aspects will affect you directly, we need to look into your birth chart to see exactly. But for right now, what I'm doing is a general overview. This is what is possible for you. Okay. Now, Venus in a trine to Mars. This is a fire trine, and it's a fire trine because Venus is in Sagittarius at this point, in Sagittarius is a fire sign, and then Mars is in Aries, which is also a fire sign. This is why it is called a fire trine. Okay, now for you, this is going to affect your third house and your seventh house. Venus is in your area of life dealing with communications. In Aries, Mars in Aries is in your area of life dealing with partnerships. Okay, so this is an aspect that is great for relationships, so just remember that. Now, also on this day, we have the sun in a square to Uranus. And remember, whenever Uranus is involved, we can expect some type of surprise. Okay. Now, this next slide, this was in Sedona, and I had taken a yoga vortex hike. It was about four of us, including Yogi Blair. Yogi Blair he's the one with the bare shoulders out. So what we did on this tour, we would hike and then we would stop and we would do yoga and we would hike some more and we would stop and do qigong. So we finally got to the top. When we arrived at the top, we laid out our mats and the sun was setting at the same time. The sun was setting, there was a nice breeze blowing, and we proceeded to meditate. Okay. And then Yogi Blair pulls out his Tibetan bowl and he starts doing, the singing bowl. It was just so beautiful and so peaceful, and just the energy of the vortex where we were, it was just so amazing, so healing also. So back to the forecast. Now, on January 20th, the sun enters Aquarius. So as of the 20th, we can start telling all of our Aquarius friends happy birthday because it will be Aquarius season. The full moon is going to be on the 21st. It's going to be a full moon in Leo. And this is going to be a total lunar eclipse. And it's going to be a super moon. Okay. Now, a super moon simply means that this moon is going to be bigger and brighter than most full moons, okay, than your average full moon. Okay, and we actually have several super moons this year in 2019, and this is just the first of those moons. Okay. Now, on also on January 21st, we have Mars in a square to Saturn. Okay. Remember, Mars wants to take action. It wants to initiate things. Saturn wants to wait. Saturn wants to think about things. Saturn wants to make sure everything is done right. Okay, so for you, Mars in Aries is in your area of life dealing with your partnerships. And then Saturn in Capricorn is in your area of life dealing with your home and your family. So there might be some things that you want to do with your partner, but your family is, telling you, well, you need to think about this first. So watch out for that, Libra. Now, on the 22nd, we have Venus in a conjunction to Jupiter. Okay, this is going to be a great day for a lot of people. Venus conjunct Jupiter is all about luck, money, harmony, okay? So depending on what else is going on in your chart, this could be a very great day for you. Okay, so maybe put a star by that day, January 22nd. And as always, remember, you can feel the energy from these aspects before the actual date. You can feel them before the actual date, even after the actual date. So don't get too hung up on, okay, January 22nd, this is supposed to be happening. Because a lot of times, especially if you are very intuitive or if you are very sensitive to energies, you could feel this, you know, days and days before the actual date. Okay, so don't get hung up on dates. Just know what is happening. Just know that what's going on in the planets. Because as the saying goes, as above, so below. That just means that whatever is going on in the planets, we feel the energy below here on Earth. Okay, so let's keep moving. On January 24th, Mercury enters Aquarius. This is going to be a time where it might take you longer than normal to accomplish anything. And why is that? What's going on is that Mercury entering the sign of Aquarius, you are basically saying that Mercury is entering Uranus's territory because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. And Uranus is all about surprise, freedom. Okay? So just know that around this time, it might take you longer to accomplish things, or you might have to work harder at staying on course because Uranus is all about freedom. Remember that. Okay, so on the 25th, we have Mars in a trine to Jupiter. This is going to be a time where a lot of people feel more confident. So it's going to be a great day. Now, I did put the 31st in here because the last time we had Saturn sextile Neptune was in 1996. So this aspect is just uniting the material with the spiritual side. So just remember that. Now, this slide is at Slide Rock Park, I believe. And this is an area in Sedona where people go and cool off pretty much. And it's called Slide Rock because you can actually slide off the rocks into the water and cool off. It's a really cool place. That's another place you should visit if you visit Sedona, like in the spring or the summertime, because it's really, really cool. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Okay, let's look at the new moon. Now, the new moon is going to be on January 5th, and I have broken it down into different times, okay? So, at about 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, the moon is going to be conjunct Saturn. This is going to be a time where you feel like you have to keep your feelings to yourself. Okay, so just remember that because a lot of people are going to be at work anyway, so it's, it makes sense that you'll feel like that at work. Now, at about 6 o'clock, the moon is going to be sextile Neptune. And this is an energy where you will be very sensitive to other people's moods. So if you see someone is in a funk, you might want to stay away from them because you will be very sensitive to that energy. And it might make you want to be in a funk. Okay. Also, at about 8:30, the moon is going to be conjunct the sun. Okay. For a lot of people, you will have a burst of energy, and this is a great time to go out with friends. So, on this day, you might want to spend maybe the first half of the day, by yourself in reflection. And then at about 8:30, that's a great time for you to get together with friends. It's a great time for group activity after 8:30. So, just remember that. Now, that has basically been your forecast for January 2019. And I thank you for tuning in. Please like the video, share the video with your family and your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Also, I want to let you know that I do have my book available on Amazon. This is the book here, 2019 Horoscope for All Signs by Astrology. Astrology is my pen name. So try to pick up this book. go out and support me on the book. It's about 200, it's over 200 pages. And it's also available on Kindle also. So if you do a search of astrology, if you search Astrology on Amazon, the book will come up and you can actually read it on Kindle. And if you have Amazon, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read the book free and I still get credit. So I do thank you for your support. And if you want a personal reading with me, just visit metaphysicalmoonlighters.com and we can get that scheduled for you. Now, until next month, Libra, have a great month.